Look, we got to get ready. Got to get ready. Got to get on your. Do you have your flotation device? Huh? Do you have your flotation device? You need to have on your flotation device. Come on, get your flotation device on. Come on. Okay, we're gonna have to have flotation. You're gonna have to have flotation device. You can't do this show without a flotation device. This is a Mudflood extravaganza. You're never gonna get through the show without your proper safety gear. There's regulations. OSHA's involved. You got to have the proper gear to go do this show. Do you understand? Okay, you ready to go? Got your proper gear on? Oh, you want me to hold on to you in case we drown in the mud? Okay, I got you. I got you, bro. I got you. Okay, you ready? Okay, ready to go. 1, 2, 3. Where you going? Okay, well, I guess you ain't gonna be on the show. Whatever, it's okay. Welcome to MUDDIN and BEAGS Live, episode 38. We are ready to rock and roll. Okay, I got my flotation device. I told you last week you're going to need flotation devices for the show. So if you do not have your flotation devices will be provided. They will drop down from the overhead bin, hit you in the head, and you will need to insert the flotation device in your bum. You will drown in the mud that's coming tonight. I promise you. So that being said, I hope all is well. And we're going to go ahead and get into it and see what we can get into. And I hope all of you are going to have a good time tonight. And we will see you shortly.
You think you know me? You think you know my struggles, my pain, my journey? Let me tell you something. Don't judge me by what you see or hear. I didn't walk this path to impress anyone. People love to point fingers, to act like they know everything. They don't know my story. You don't know what I had to sacrifice, because everything I've become was built from battles you never saw.
Okie dokie, we are ready to rock. Let's see here, see what we got to do here. All right, zip it, Skippy, time to work. Okay, we got Miss Hip Shake hanging out. I see Jason Marshall was hanging out. C. Sar was hanging out. And Miss Teresa Gregory is here with us. Hello, Masana Q. Hello, Soul Smoke. And Virginia, how are you? And Sherry Eyes, welcome. And see if I don't see anybody else I can say hello to. Anyways, if you're out there lurking, hello to you too. And we're going to get into a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And let me share this real quick. Nope, not that. This is okay. Get my doodads going here. And okay. Make sure this is getting going. And so we got the good buddy here, Jared Booster's channel shouted out me this week, and I'd like to thank you for that. And he's talking about the let me go ahead and play this.
Howdy, y'all. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. I want to give a special thank you to Stuff Beagle.
Oh, God, StreamYard, you're killing me. I'm sorry. Lord have mercy. I'm trying to show you something, guys, and StreamYard is just being an absolute dickhead to me.
Okay, so all right, so I'm so lost at this point. Jared Booster's channel shouted me out this week for my Pittsburgh hump cut research, and he's it's his video, the most compelling case for 19th century or earlier cataclysm reset. StreamYard, you killed me. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm about to, if I could get a hold of StreamYard and choke the shit out of them, I would. Their program is going to absolute shit. I'm sorry. Let me recoup here. So Jared has shared out the work, and he's calling it the most compelling case for 19th century or early cataclysm reset. And he says he found 70 photographs. I found 458 glass plate negatives, and so there's a lot more photographs that he has not seen or did not find. I don't know why he didn't find them. Although it is complicated to find them, I will say that much. But that being said, there are 458, not 70. So it's, thank you for the shout out. I gained 1 sub for his shout out. So thank you, YouTube. You're awesome. And that, just a future reference, y'all, creators, when you're doing these shout outs, it would be appreciative if you actually put our channels, like a link to our channel, or actually show our channel and not just say it. That would be helpful to the smaller, plebeian channels out here that are actually shadow banned. I'm actually shadow banned. There's a lot of people out there that's like, I'm shadow banned. I'm actually shadow banned. I can easily prove that. So that being said, hello, Tommy. How you doing? Okay, hippies in the driver's chair. Okay, so let's see here. Let me get rid of that. Hush now. The Beagle is just, he's got issues or something. I don't know what his problem is, being a little jack-a-noodle. Okay, so I'm going to start off tonight with let me see. I want to show, oh gosh, where is stop screen share? And I'm going to start off with some stuff I found this week on the Pittsburgh hump cut that I wanted to add into the mix. These are not the hump cut pictures, but I think they'll give you a nice perspective. These are photographs that they took the glass plate negatives that we look at, and they made postcards out of them. So removing the hump, 5th Avenue, looking east, Pittsburgh, PA. So they would colorize the photos, the hand paint them, and then sell them as postcards. And this is 1912, and this hump cut would have taken place between 1912 and 1913. This is a postcard that was not colorized. But you can see here in this photo, we'll actually see the glass plate negative of this at some point. In this photo, they're actually cleaning the stone that was underneath the dirt. Oh, goodness. Good gracious. Let me, hold on. Let me give this dog a biscuit. I tell you what, you gonna pure out your mind tonight. Here, go. Go play in the road or something. Out there where the big trucks are. There you go. Okay, so, okay. This is a panoramic view from 1920. So this is after the hump cut. And the hump cut was centered kind of around the Allegheny courthouse right here. And so you can see this area from about 2nd Street. They say 4th. The blueprints say 4th, but I think it's a better way to say is from 2nd Street, and it goes all the way up to past 7th, and then the streets that they actually did are actually gone now. So it's kind of hard to say where it is in here, but this is after the hump cut. But what I wanted to, the point I wanted to show this picture for is that this is an excellent reference picture to look at what it was there and what is there today. And so there'll be some reference work that will need to be done here. But I think that you're going to find that a lot of this, because they destroyed 85% of what the hump cut area was after they did the hump cut, which is really interesting. This is, I believe, the post office. But I think Pittsburgh looks very different today than it did back then. But that's going to take more work. And then also, keep in mind that the the Great Fire of 1845, leveled this place. So the official story is that this was all built after that. So I think that's something we need to keep in mind. Here's another postcard. This is taken, they would take the hump cut glass plate negatives, and they would make a postcard out of it. They would hand paint it. But I think it gives you an interesting perspective seeing the color. Okay, that's the back of the postcard. And I found these on eBay. Just so you know, you'd be surprised what you can find on eBay these days. This is a painting of Pittsburgh in 1790. And I've got some higher res close-ups of this. But I wanted you to note that the area of the hump cut would be in this area here. And I just want you to note how odd these hills look. Now, this is a painting. Obviously, it's, an artist representation, but it does that look like natural to you? It just looks, there's something very odd about it. Big, if you don't piss off down the road, I'm gonna knock you to damn pure hell. All right, get on. Quit bothering me. Go play. Sorry, folks. Okay. This is a Pittsburgh 1902 bird's eye view. So this is right before the hump cut, and the Allegheny courthouse is right here. So the hump cut area would have been roughly Smithfield Road, which you can't see the names of the roads, and here's 4th. They say, oh no, wait a minute. Allegheny courthouse is this one. Sorry, folks. The damn post office is here. That it looks so much like the courthouse. This is this is Allegheny Courthouse here. That they say it was from 4th up to this area, but I think we can consider this area, you know, was suspect too. This is Chinatown too, this area here, which I think is very interesting. And what's also interesting is that their Chinatown was only really active between 1902 to 1900 and 1920. So the exact time that the hump cut was taking place, you have this their Chinatown. Now, I don't see any evidence of the Chinese being involved in this, but I bet they were. And you see here, Grant's Hill, this is the hill they say they were cutting down. Yes, it would be cool. Yes, GT, hello. It would be cool to match these pics. And there's a lot of work that needs to be done here. What's wonderful about this right here is a different hill, I believe. I believe they call it something different, but this whole area is what they call Grant's Hill. And this is the area, but like, let me put it to you this way. That 85% of what you see right there is gone now. And I bet you a nickel, when you get down into the nuts and bolts of this, I bet you're going to find a lot more of this is gone too. So there's a lot of work to be done here. What's interesting is we have the references now to work with. So this is really, really compelling information. This is some kind of a postcard that was put out. I just thought it was kind of cool, but we'll see the glass plate negative of that. This is a postcard that's been colorized, and I think it gives you an interesting perspective. This is Wiley and 5th looking east, removing the hump, Pittsburgh, PA. So this is the Allegheny jail right behind the courthouse. So this is off to the left-hand side if you're looking at the map. And this is Hump Cut, Pittsburgh, 5th Avenue from Grant Street looking west, removing the hump cut. So this is another postcard. This is the Frick building, and the Allegheny Courthouse is on the right-hand side. You can't see it, it's out of frame. But you see they did a lot of utility work. They laid new trolley tracks, they laid new sewers, they laid new hydraulic lines and electric or water. They did all that stuff at the same time, which you will see in the pictures. So this is 5th Avenue looking west. This is the hump cut. This is a colorized, or hand painted colorized postcard. Just to give you a different perspective. That looks like the same one, a different version. This is removing hump cut, 1912, no location. Kind of cool though. See 1912 on the back. Here's another postcard of that same one. This is a little article I found. Grant Street, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Concentrated along these 11 short blocks is Pittsburgh's finest collection of historic buildings and modern skyscrapers. Buildings that tell the stories of 20th century aristocrats and architects who shaped the city into an industrial banking empire. Subtle clues hint at the transformation of from churches and a hilltop promenade to today's flat landscape boulevard of office towers. The street's most revered building is the Allegheny Courthouse and Jail, built in 1886 by noted architect Henry Hobson Richardson, which that dude's got an interesting history. This cluster of buildings is perhaps his finest work and exemplifies the Richardson Romanesque style characterized by rough-hewn red granite, strong picturesque massing, and varied rustification. One thing, I think they talk about it later. I will not give that away. I think we'll read that here in a minute. 11 blocks between Fort Pitt Boulevard and Liberty Avenue. Jeez. Boy, if you don't get the fuck on, I'm going to knock you out. I don't know what your problem is tonight. PNC First Park along Grant Street. Look southwest towards, what in the world? Monongahela, whatever river. What the hell? Connection between Grant Street and Fort Pitt Boulevard. Planning excellence. Until 1913, this complex set atop Grant's Hill, named in recognition of British Mayor James Grant, who was defeated by the French in this spot in 1758. A sitting planning project known as Hump Cut shaved 60 feet off the hill. And this is a point that I really don't know the answer to, and is interesting to me. Some places say 60 feet was cut off. Other places say 30 feet or 33 feet. Then there's different time frames that they did this hump cut, and they took different amounts off in different years. So I don't know the correct amount. And also another thing to keep in mind is 60 feet or 30 feet or whatever foot they took off was at the top of the hill. And that dirt went down. So it's not 60 feet off the bottom of the hill. It's 60 feet off the top of the hill. And that's something that people need to understand. That's an important thing that needs to be understood, is it's not 60 feet across the bottom. They didn't get to the end of the hump cut and it's 60 feet high. Then all of a sudden they're at ground level. That's not how it happened. So that needs a lot of people are getting confused on this. I don't see why it's so confusing, but it takes all kinds. The U.S. Steel Tower, one of the first modern buildings on the street, and the city's tallest building, was erected in 1970 to showcase Core 10 steel. Melon Green, located across the street, provides campus feeling. Now, blah, blah, who cares? Blah, blah, blah. I don't care about any of this shit. Okay. First attempt to regrade Grant Street occurred in 1836. Approximately 10 feet was removed. And the reason I'm reading these things is because each article says it a little bit different. So we need to hear all these kind of things in order to kind of piece it together. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Chicago, St. Louis Railroads expanded freight yard across Grant Street from 7th Avenue to Liberty Avenue in the 1880s. Traffic rerouted until yards dismantled in 1929. That's a good piece of data. Olmsted Report, Pittsburgh main thoroughfares and the downtown district, 1911. That's something I need to look into. Backed by city planners, calls for street widening, reducing hill grade, landscape and median. I need to look into that. Olmsted Report. Okay. Last of Olmsted recommendations, widen Grant Street, completed in 1929. Allegheny Courthouse and jail listed as National Historic. Wow, who cares? Union Trust Building, blah, blah, blah. I don't need that. I think I'm not seeing anything else here I feel is important. Okay, so we're going to move on. Let's see. I think this is a really, really important piece of data. In 1839, Pittsburgh Gazette article advocated for the removal of the hump, formerly Grant's Hill, in downtown Pittsburgh to facilitate city growth. The quote, the publication called to level this hill with the exception of the ornamental buildings which are upon it, and let our citizens see the fine scenery beyond, and Pittsburgh will show, like every large and flourishing city, an abundance of employment and accommodation for her industrious family. Now, the wording here is interesting to me because this is an 1839. And they say, level this hill. So take away the dirt, make it level, fine, with the exception of the ornamental buildings which are upon it. Now, here's what's strange. In 1912 to 1913, they made this major cut in this hill, and they took the street level down, and then they lowered the buildings. Okay? They didn't just lower the they didn't just save the ornamental buildings, they saved a lot of the buildings, and then a lot of buildings got demolished because as they were digging out the dirt, the buildings collapsed. But then, and this is where this quote comes into being interesting, is that they actually did demolish 85% of the buildings, and the buildings that are left are what I would call these ornamental buildings. So in 1939, they're saying we're going to level this place. So that's very interesting to me. Context: the hill was a significant topographical barrier in the center of the city. While the top third of the hill was removed in 1836, the 1839 article suggests this was still deemed insufficient by residents. Results: Grant Hill was lowered in three main stages, roughly 1836, 1850, 1912, with these 19th century efforts removing over 30 feet of earth in some areas. The hill was eventually completely removed, and dirt was used to fill in surrounding ravines, such as the area around Shalani Plaza, where Shalani Plaza is now located. Hold on. Boss man sending me damn TikToks. He gone damn crazy. What happened to Grants Hill in downtown Pittsburgh? ? And this is one of the glass plate negatives we've been looking at, and we will get into that. Despite the city's many hills and valleys, downtown Pittsburgh is pretty flat, but it wasn't always that way. Before the city was Golden Triangle were developed to what they are today, a roughly 33-foot rocky mound known as Grants Hill, or the Hump, stood in the middle. I've always been curious about the Pittsburgh and the things that were here and the things that are no longer here. Good question, asked Raymond Kowitz. Said, one of the things I came across was Grants Hill. I've always wondered where it was and why it was so necessary to remove it, and why it was so inconvenient to everybody. In historic maps of the city, Grants Hill can be seen spanning from what's now the U.S. Steel Tower to about Boulevard of Allies. It was a major presence in historic Pittsburgh and played a significant role in the city's development. In 1758, British General John Forbes was sent across Pennsylvania to kick the French and their Native American allies out of Fort Duquesne. What in the world? I'm not a pronunciation person. Before he reaches the city, Forbes dispatched Major James Grant and several hundred men to Pittsburgh to get an idea of what they were up against. But Grant had bigger ideas of glory, said Edward K. Mueller, University of Pittsburgh emeritus professor of history. He decided that he would surprise the French. The area was covered with dense forest at the time, and Grant chose the hill as the base of his attack. Unfortunately for Grant and his ego, he was ambushed by the French and the Native Americans. Hundreds of his troops were killed, wounded, or captured. Despite defeat, the mountain was later named Grant's Hill. This map right, or this blueprint right here, this is a picture of a glass plate negative, which we will see on the show, is a glass plate negative of a blueprint of the Hump Cut area. And I have purchased off of eBay an actual Pittsburgh Hump Cut 1912 blueprint of this right here, and it will be here next week, and I will show it on the show. So I'm going to be in possession of a piece of this history, and I'm very excited about that. I think it's really cool. Map of the Hump Cut district shows plans for the Hump Cut hump removal. In 1900s, the Hump Cut took place in downtown area known as Grants Hill. The project began planning in 1909. When it ended with the final cut in 1913, it changed the gradient of Grant Street, Diamond Street, Oliver, Fisk, 6th, Webster, and Wiley Avenues, among others. In the fall of 1758, the French retreated, abandoning Fort Duquesne, what in the world, Forbes, and the British took over, establishing Fort Pitt at the point. As Pittsburgh grew and expanded beyond the point, Grants Hill was used as a park where families gathered to picnic and play music, but others criticized Grants Hill, saying it was a nuisance and needed to go to clear the way for future development. It was big enough to be an issue at various times, Mueller said. In 1836, the top third of the hump was removed in an attempt to bring its heights closer to the rest of the growing downtown area. Still, some felt it wasn't enough, as evident by the 1839 Pittsburgh Gazette article, "Level this hill with the exception of ornamental buildings, which are upon it, and we've already read this. The mound was a barrier for transportation and made new development difficult. In 1841, Allegheny County decided to build a new courthouse, a Greek revival style structure along Grand Street. A courthouse had been established in Market Square, but as the city grew, it needed more space. By moving the courthouse up there, it begins a several decade drift of insurance companies, lawyers, and others in that direction," Mueller said, and that in part is reshaping downtown. When that courthouse burned down in 1882, the county asked architect H.H. Richardson to design a new one. This is the Romanesque revival style building that still stands today, but Mueller says there was still a discussion taking place on how Grants Hill was impacting the city's growth. City planners wanted to level the area, but some prominent owners of nearby buildings, including Henry Clay Frick, weren't convinced. This is I believe this is on the Frick building across the street from the Allegheny Courthouse, and this is a little plaque that shows the original street grade before 1912. Frick was a holdout in this, and he and other property owners, if they were going to cut this thing down, which would mean having to do something about the foundation and bottom floors, who was going to cover damages. Eventually, in 1912, Mayor William McGee figured out a way around the opposition. He issued a construction bond to the tune of $3 million to ensure Frick that work would go smoothly. Frick signed on, and they removed the rest of Grants Hill, reinforcing the foundations and basements of the buildings that were standing upon it. 16 feet were taken off throughout the next year, leaving the mostly level land that exists today. There are still reminders of the event, including a plaque on Frick's building and the Allegheny Courthouse. If you stand at the corner of 5th and Grant, you can see a marker on the corner that says this was the height before Grants Hill was cut down, and it has been there a long time, Mueller said. It can be hard to picture the hump today, but the removal of Grants Hill changed downtown and helped solidify Grant Street as one of the main thoroughfares of the Golden Triangle. This is a very important post that someone made, and I think this is something that needs to be checked on. I think this is really critical information here. New sources have determined that the dirt not used to fill the ravine, new sources have determined that the dirt was not, they've misspelled, not used to fill in the ravine, but instead used on the riverfront. And the story goes that they did it where the Shalini Plaza is, that there was a ravine, it had a bridge, and they filled it in, and that's up above where the hump cut area was. And this person is saying he also dispels the recent legend that earth from the 1910s removal of the Grant Street hump was used to fill St. Pierre's Ravine to create the plaza, as do John Bonham and Ted Mueller in their forthcoming book on planning in Pittsburgh before Renaissance. Both sources report that fill from the hump went to the riverfronts. Simpson traces the error, which I've passed along in print, to Pittsburgh professor, I guess University of Pittsburgh, Professor Frank Toker's 1986 book, Pittsburgh, an Urban Portrait. I think this is a very plausible thing. I think here's what I think. I think the original hump cut, when they did it in 1836, maybe they took the dirt to the ravine because they originally cut the top of the hill, and it would be easier to do the top of the hill and then take it to this ravine, and then later when they did the 1912 hump cut, to take it to down by the riverfront. I think that would have been easier and create more land. I think that's what happened. I think that dog needs to be dug out. This is another person making a comment. I remember reading about the removal of Grants Hill in various versions of the Stefan Lawrence book, Pittsburgh, the Story of an American City. So there's a lead on some information. Here is another article, The Hump and its detrimental effect on the courthouse. Believe it or not, Pittsburgh downtown area hasn't always been the same elevation. Prior to 1912, there existed a nuisance of a hill known both as Grant's Hill and the Hump. The hill was extremely aggravating to workers, cars, trolleys, and horses, so the city decided to remove the entire hill. Over a period of 3 years, the hill was leveled and buildings were remodeled. The reason this event is being documented in a blog about the courthouse is the effect the removal of the hill had on the appearance of the overall experience of the Allegheny courthouse. While the hill still exists, the courthouse was its intended state of being with the entrance at ground level. Okay, let me read that again. While the hill still existed, the courthouse was in its intended state of being with the entrance at ground level. Old photos of the bridge show a gap of a certain size between the bridge and the ground. And what they're referring to, let's see if I can, this is today. What they're referring to is basically from here down was dirt, roughly. This line here, same on this side, was dirt. If that helps you. Interestingly enough, a photo from the same perspective today shows a major difference between the bridge today and the bridge 100 years ago. The bridge is only being discussed because how easy it is to show the change. And then it goes up here. It says, it is evident that the ground beneath the bridge has been lowered substantially. In fact, nearly 15 feet under the bridge was removed in the grand hump removal. Looking at the windows specifically in the first photo compared to the second shows a whole new level appearing after the hump removal process. How did the hump removal affect Allegheny Courthouse? Here's how. Since the construction of the courthouse was before the hump removal, there was little planning for how the exterior of the courthouse would look if the land was removed. Richardson had planned a deep foundation in case the hump would be removed, which it eventually was, but there was no exterior stone. And this right here is something that you can see them doing in the glass plate negatives. When the hump was removed and dirt was scraped away from the foundation of the courthouse, new stones were cemented along the revealed foundation. And so we'll be able to see the evidence of that. Unfortunately, the stone was not the same as the existing stone, whether because it was altogether a different rock or if the older stone had been weathered already. Regardless, there is still a discrepancy between the old stone and the new stone, especially on the side of the courthouse where the bridge is located. The change of stone color is not the only consequence of removing the hump. The entrances were also modified because the ground was lowered. Originally, visitors to the courthouse would enter through the traditional main entrance through the grand staircase leading to the door, up to the door. After the land was lowered, however, a large staircase was added on which visitors would enter the building. It wasn't much of a problem until the 1930s when the street, specifically Grant Street, was widened to accommodate automobiles. Source. That's the source. When the street was widened, the grand staircase entrance was removed and the entrance to the courthouse was moved to the basement level. No longer do visitors to the courthouse enter through the grand doors to the courthouse, but rather through the basement. The overall effect of the experience of the courthouse was changed by the lowering of the hump. While the building is still spectacular, it isn't in the impressive state of being Richardson desired when he designed the building many years ago. And I've also heard stories where it said that Richardson designed the building to be uncovered because he knew they would uncover it, so he designed the lower levels to be ready to go. So obviously we have two conflicting stories there. Got another postcard here. Steam shovel in action removing the hump, Pittsburgh, PA. Little colorized version. Okay, so that's all of what I had to share of that. So I hope that helps. Hello, Orphan Annie. How are you doing? Welcome, Kathy Broughton. How are you doing? Hello, D-Word. And I hope everybody's having a good time here. I know that wasn't y'all weren't expecting that, but that's okay. I like to throw a little curveball at you here and there, as long as StreamYard ain't messing with me. So, I can't decide if I'm hot or if I'm cold. I don't know. I cannot decide. I've been like that all day. Hot, cold, hot, cold. Okay, so y'all ready to do some y'all got your floaties? You know, get my floaty. I got my floaty. Y'all got your floaties, you're gonna need your floaties. Okay, we're gonna have to have safety gear on for this because we're gonna go in. We're going in deep. We're gonna go in, we're gonna look at the glass plate negatives of this event, and you know, it can get awful muddy awful quick. So you know, I hope y'all are ready. I ain't play big in here. No, this is the real deal. This is the real deal. This is how it goes down around here. Okay, this is the Pittsburgh University of Pittsburgh Library System, Historic Pittsburgh. These are under the Pittsburgh City Photographer uh, 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 collection. So you go to this website, you go to collections, you go the best search I found is within this collection. You search Hump cut and you set the time frame for 1900 and 1914 is for some reason the best I've found to find the 458 photographs. And so we've been going through these week by week, start with episode 36 and then 37, and now we're on episode 38. If you want to see all the images in a slideshow form, I have a video up with some nice music, and you can kick back and relax and look at the images, but they're not high resolution. The only way to see these in high resolution is coming to the show and watching it, and you will be able to look into them, or the link is in the description, and you can go look at it for yourself. And if you're one of the hundreds of thousands of people that this week that have decided to say that these images are AI, you can take your happy ass on down to the University of Pittsburgh and you can request to view the glass plate negatives physically in person yourself. So that will shut the AI Ninny squad up once and for all. So, another thing I learned this week that is important is that they give a title here, 6th Avenue Hump Cut, but when you get down here in the description, you will find a little more evidence, a little more information. This one says a view of construction along 6th Avenue during the Hump Cut removal project, looking from Wiley Avenue towards Webster Avenue. And then it'll give the same thing as in all of them. This right here, it will say the Hump Cut took place in the downtown area known as Grants Hill. The project began with planning in 1909 and ended with the final cut in 1913. It changed the gradient of Grant Street, Diamond Street, Oliver 5th, 6th, Webster, Wiley Avenues. Please see Frederick Law Olmsted, Pittsburgh main thoroughfares, and the downtown district for more information. And I believe that is the book that we're just talking about. So I definitely need to look into that. That is on my to-do list. Matter of fact, let me write that down while y'all ain't doing nothing. Get my secretary out here real quick. Frederick, I'm old school. I take notes by pen. Just like the Pilgrims did. And it's just the way I do it. Oh gosh, I need to write all this down. Hold on. Pittsburgh main thoroughfares. Bear with me, folks. This is how you do research. downtown district. Okay. And I need to look that bad boy up. Okay, so that'll be something I need to look into. Okay. Hoorah! Let's do this. Y'all ready? Got your floaties? All right. I don't know if y'all can handle this. This might be too much mud for y'all. 6th Avenue hump cut. Good gracious. My goodness. Look at all that mud. My goodness. This is when they're starting to put back the street. This would be after the mud cut. Now, this is something that's very important for you guys to understand. A lot of these pictures may look the same. I assure you they're not. You need to look closer. You need to get out your glasses and your magnifying glasses and your zooms. Okay. They took pictures at different periods during this construction. They took pictures from different angles. They would take a picture, back up, a ways, and take another picture. So it looks similar, but it's not. So each picture needs to be analyzed. Okay. I'm learning a lot here about this stuff, and I had a guy today say, "How in the world did you find all the stuff you found?" I'm like, "Well, I've got a month head start on you guys." I just released this 3 weeks ago, and I was working on it, or 2 weeks ago, and I was working on it for 2 weeks before I released it. So, I've got a little bit of a head start. But now that we've got Jared Boosters, and I can't tell you much, but let's just put it this way. The cavalry is on the way. The cavalry is on the way. I don't know how long it will take, but the cavalry is on the way. The best of the best is on the job. So this thing's getting ready to blow the fuck up. Okay. So stand by. Jared Boosters is just the beginning. All right. So let's get into it. Got arc lights. Got pretty awnings. Now, another thing I want you to keep in mind. Another thing, I'm going through image by image, and I'm analyzing each image for what is left. And I am finding that 85% of these pictures, what are shown in these pictures, 85% of what you're shown in these pictures, even though they came in, they dug the dirt out, they literally lowered these buildings. In a lot of cases, they lowered the buildings to this new ground level. Okay. They demolished them. They're gone. You can't go look at them today. They're gone. They demolished them. So they went through all this trouble to save these buildings and then demolished them. Now, if you don't smell a rat, I don't know what to tell you. Look at that cast iron work right there. That's pretty. Look at the oh my goodness, look at the foundation failure right there. I don't know if y'all can see that. See how that's crooked right there? That is foundation failure. That's not good. That's because they lowered these buildings. I don't have an answer for why you would go through as much trouble as they did to dig these buildings out and lower the buildings. That's the key. They lowered the building. You'll look in these pictures. If you start comparing pictures from different time frames, you'll see a building in the air, and then you'll see the building at the new ground level after they've lowered it. But you have to do a lot of looking. It's not easy to look at the stuff. You pretty much go blind doing it. Got Moo here. So there is so much going on in these. You got these funky 6R, like these funky trolley tracks They're putting down a cobblestone brick road that's obviously not melted. Shout out good old Jen Truth Seeker 69. I want to make sure y'all get her lies out there and learn that she's full of shit. Anyways, got to bring old Meltology into it. Wiley Avenue Hump Cut, a view of construction along Wiley Avenue during the Hump Cut removal project, looking from 6th Avenue to 5th Avenue. The Allegheny Courthouse and jail is visible in the background. Okay, see, this is good information that we want to know. Oh, whoa. Buttons aren't toys. Sorry, folks. Went to the wrong doodad. Okay, so the Allegheny Courthouse is right here in the back. And there you go. I don't know why that stupid thing comes up. And so this is right off to the, if you're looking at the face of the courthouse, this would be right off to the left side of the courthouse. And you see that they're, wow, this is really weird how they've done these tracks here. I don't know what in the heck they're doing there. That is very strange. And of course, you look at that little, that's a part of an arch right there that would have come out this way. These are areaways. A lot of people are asking, why did they build the foundations out this way? Those are areaways. And the official story would be that they built these out as a way to, that was where they put the coal holes, the pavement lights, and you can see this is concrete slab on top of them. That's the official story, but they, maybe these were part of the original building. I don't know. Honestly, you could probably figure it out if the buildings were still here, but they're gone. So here's a red flag right here. You got bricks below grade. Now, if they're just being used as a wall, an interior wall, it'd be fine. But see, this is where it becomes tricky. So I would say that this is probably just an interior little arch within the areaway. It's probably okay, but you don't use bricks as foundation. And look how haggard these buildings are. Absolutely haggard. Yeah, they sure do, Sig. The plumbers and any kind of utilities are just a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. And you can see right here and right here, you can see where as they were digging, they had collapses. And you see this a lot. You see it right here too. This one's not as bad. This one just had the facade or the front wall and facade fall off. But this happened a lot. And I think when they say, oh, we had to pay for damages to the buildings, I think this is what they're talking about. I don't know. My question is, like, how in the world, like, who paid for all the buildings to be demolished later? And, what's the story there? Because there's no record of it. I haven't found it yet. Still looking. And here, this is a great example. Right here, you see the Allegheny Courthouse where they were talking about how the foundation was unfinished and they had to add stones to the outside and cement them into place. What they're talking about is they had to add them right here on this face here. And these little nubs sticking off here, they chiseled them off. They broke them off and then they put block over this. And they're saying, this is what they're saying is discolored. It's not the same color today. So that's evidence of that. There's actually pictures of them actually in the process of doing this too, that we will see. We got arc lights. A lot of signage. And they put up these walkways and steps as temporary access to the buildings, which is very strange. Oh, we got let's see, 2 girl and 1 boy water buffalo today at the farm. And so now we have 3 girls and 1 boy water buffalo, and one of the new girls is she's pregnant, and so they're gonna be aunties and uncles. So that's pretty cool. So we got some new critters at the farm. And I was down there dealing with that today, and we're doing we're concreting the floors in all the coops. I don't even know how many coops there are. There's like 17 to 18, something like that right now. And they're pretty complicated, but we're concreting the floors in all of them, which is a process in itself. And then the damn feeders that I've fought with for years, like I have rebuilt these feeders over and over again because the boss man said, I want these feeders. So I build the feeders. Oh, they don't work like I thought they would. Can you build them a different way? So I build them a different way. Oh, that wasn't it. Well, can you read it? So I've redone these damn feeders. I literally hate these feeders at this point. And they're made out of PVC, and they're so freaking annoying to do. So now I've got to redo 12 of the feeders because the feeders are too low because for the concrete, and they've got to be raised up. And then in order to raise them up, I have to redo them. And it's all because, I want them low. I want them low so the biddies can get to them. So now and I had said, don't you think they're too low? No. Oh no, they're not too low. Did I say where this is from? Hold on a second. This is Hump Cut Road from 6th Avenue, looking from Cherry Way towards Grant Street. Okay. I want to make sure I give that. Dadgum you, Dale. You better quit doing that. I don't got no time for that. It hits on some kind of button right there that I don't even see. Okay, back here. We got Fred over here doing what Fred does. You ain't going to see no donkeys on this show. Ain't no damn donkeys. Donkeys. Ain't no donkeys built this. It's Fred. Fred is the horse to build America. He's the OG. Prove me wrong. All these buildings are gone. I know that. I looked in that this week. The funeral home, I think, is the one right here. I forget what. Earlier this week, I could have told you what this building was. I don't remember now. That's a really pretty cool building right there. But it is a lot of work to try to go through and analyze. And I'm posting one image of it that's analyzed every night on Twitter. X. We're naming it X now because we're assholes. We've got to rename it because Elon got a cracker up his ass. You need a biscuit. Eaton Company Undertakers. That's interesting. You got the Undertakers here, and there's a funeral parlor over here. And this building is, I believe, gone. So is this one. All of these are gone, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. But see right here, perfect example. They're lowering this building. And the way they do that is they, how do I make this long story short? They knock out holes strategically in the foundation, and then they slide through these I-beams, steel I-beams, and then they use screw jacks to raise up the building a little bit, and then they remove the foundation, and then they lower the building slowly and take away these blocks here, this cribbing, and they lower it to the ground. It's a slow process, but that's how they do it. And you will see, I imagine there's going to be evidence somewhere of this building sitting on the ground. Okay, in a different picture. It's complicated. It's really complicated figuring this kind of stuff out. But the evidence is there. It's just a lot. 458 images is a lot of images, especially when to look at the high resolution, which is really the only way to do the research. You have to go to the website. You cannot download them. You can take a screenshot of this resolution here, right here. You can screenshot that, but that's not high resolution. When you zoom into that, it pixelates. Okay, and it's no good. Okay, it's no good to zoom in. It looks good right there. That looks fine, but it does not look good when you zoom in. How's it going, people will tell you? And welcome, Odin's Raven. What's up, Orphan Annie? If my week goes well this week, I'm planning on doing a Mudflood flash mob. Shh, don't tell nobody. So I don't know what day. It's whatever day I get a wild hair at my ass. So whatever I feel like doing, I'll do it. Let's see. Hump cut removal project along Grant Street, looking from 6th Avenue towards 5th Avenue. Shows advertisements for Franco-American plum pudding, Bull Durham, and Jason McMorris distribution. Dang, what is that? What am I hitting there? It's some kind of thing right here. And see that right there? I don't know if y'all can even see that. There's an overlay, right? That's what it is. This beta site says check out new beta version of this site. It sucks. So if you're listening, University of Pittsburgh, your site sucks. Change it. All right. Okay, we got this is okay, so this is new track laid. Takes you a minute to get your orientation on these things. Well, each time you look at it, you got to reorient yourself to what you're looking at. And here you can see the dirt is still there. And this is interesting here. I don't know if that's a foundation or supposed to be a foundation, or if that's not a foundation, because you don't use brick as foundation. So that is either an area way, or if it is, part of the building, then it would go deeper. I don't know if I'm being clear or not, but arc lights, got all these people watching on, so there's lots of witnesses. This was in 1912, 1913. People, there should be, finding it, information on this is like, really hard. I've found some information in a book talking about it. But it's more like talking about like, we need to do it and here's why kind of thing. It's not really this. Trying to figure out. This is the Frick building. I'm so lost right now. Seems like the Allegheny Courthouse would be here, but it can't be. Can it? Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know what my angle is, but that looks like the Frick building there. Okay. And this up here, I guess, would have been the, like, I'm really not sure. I'm not sure about my angle, what I'm looking at here. I'm not sure. Okay. Grant Street, looking from 6th Avenue towards Strawberry Way. Oh, no, don't do that. That beta site thing is annoying. Okay, so trying to get my bearings. Right here, this right here is where they would be laying the new sewer lines. which you'll see a lot of that in these pictures, the sewer lines being laid. You see a lot of these too. There are tons of these lying around. And not exactly sure what those are. I have not exactly determined. I mean, it's a pipe maybe of some sort, but I need more information on those. If anybody knows what those are, let me know. It's there's a lot of those going in the ground, whatever they are. There's one of those spiral staircases. You see those a lot. Arc light. There's old Fred. Ain't no donkey in this show. I heard somebody saying in a comment that you can't go anywhere without finding bricks in the dirt. And I'm wondering if when they demolished these buildings, there would have been a lot of brick. I'm wondering if they used brick all over the city as fill, because it makes excellent fill. And I'm wondering, I'm thinking that might be why, that gentleman said that. And if you're from Pittsburgh and you know what I'm talking about, what do you know? And a lot of people are flipping out. Y'all need to go read the comment section on Jared Booster's video, because people are like flipping out on this thing. They're really like, wow, holy majoli. Of course, then you got a lot of people that think it's just AI, and I've been correcting them, showing, look, these are real, and here's where you go see them. And if you don't believe that, you can take your happy ass on down to the University of Pittsburgh, and you can lay your, grubby little paws on them. So that's the thing about what I do is I don't, I'm not looking for the AI version. I'm looking for the hard copy. Okay, you can physically, you could think, oh, these images are AI, but then there is physical proof. So you can go down there and physically prove that these exist. And these are not, I repeat, not easy to fake. So, if you had a physical, if you're down there, you're looking at this thing and it's in your hands and you're looking at this glass plate negative, in order to fake that, do you have any idea what you'd have to go through to fake that photograph? Dante Alley looking from Tunnel Street towards 6th Avenue. That's going to, okay, I thought it was going to do that stupid beta thing. Okay, and so we got new ground level here. And I saw somebody making a comment about how look how wonderful the pointing looks on the foundations. They meant for that to be uncovered. Blah, blah. No, they did this during this period. They repointed the foundations, y'all. Yes, there's a lot going on here. You got to really be looking into these pictures. There's images of these people doing this work. You just have to really you really have to look. It's not going to be something that you're going to, get it one picture ain't going to do it. I had some guy saying he was trying, I forgot what he was asking, but he was basically asking me to show him, pictures, point to pictures of proving my point. And I'm like, dude, there's like 450 pictures. Won't you go look? And so he goes and looks at a few. I looked at a few and I don't see how it proves your point. I'm like, there's 450 and you didn't find the one you need. And you're calling me a dumbass. You lazy motherfuckers. Get off your asses and go dig. People are so freaking lazy these days. It's unbelievable. anyways, and look at this right here. I don't know if y'all can even see this, but like they just stuccoed this right here and drew lines on it. It's not even real. That's not even stone. It's just that you can almost see like what they did right here, like the difference. It's almost like they were playing around or something. I don't know, or they're in the middle of it or something. It's really strange. And look at the door and the door. This is some crazy shit. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Look at all that mud. Oh, I need my life preserver. Where's my life? Beagle, get the life vest. He finally calmed down. Sent his ass packing. My goodness. That Beagle gets riled up. I had some guy complaining saying, these are altered pictures because you can see that the two gentlemen in the foreground, that their shadows are, one of them is slightly askewed at maybe a little 5 degrees difference, but it's a difference. I'm like, dude, do you understand these are glass plate negatives? And when you're in a glass plate negative, if you don't hold your happy ass still, it's gonna look like you got two heads. It's like people are just, they got their heads so far up their ass. It's unbelievable. Anyways, at least we're asking the right questions here. Got Mudflood winners down here. What's going on, JoJo? How's Mr. Billy Philly? Y'all go take a gander at Mr. Billy Philly's channel. Got Arc Light. And what's this? Something trust company. I love how you always see the trust. Like, trust us. Yeah, we trust y'all, right? And you see how this building, the bricks have not been pointed. That means they weren't meant to be exposed. Because if they are meant to be exposed, they point them. That means they put that nice touch to them. But you see how the mortar is just like snotting out of it. Mortar snot for you meltologists. Meltologists. They're like the ding fries are done of our research community. Ding fries are done, ding fries are done, ding fries are done, ding fries are done. Would you like a red brick with that? Looking from Strawberry Way towards 7th Avenue. And O'Neill's Alley Hump Cut. Any day now. What in the world? Hold on. Sometimes this thing goes wackadoodle. What in the world? Hold on. What is it doing? Heck, the other day it was like I hit on one and what in the world? This thing is not, it's not opening that one. That's weird. I think this does some weird stuff sometimes, because the other day I hit on one and it said, you do not have access to this image. And I was like, okay. So one thing I figured out is that they've got different websites that have they're drawing off the same digital archive. And what I did was I grabbed this identifier and I went to the other website and I put that identifier in and the picture came right up. So let me try it that way. I don't know. That one's not working today. Which I know it was working because it damn. Let me try that. I don't know. I tell you what, let's put that one aside and come back to it. Let it try to figure itself out. I don't know. I've got that image because I would have remembered it doing that, because that would have aggravated me. And that one, I don't know. These websites can be funny sometimes. Library of Congress is the worst. Oh my God. They'll about drive you batty trying to look at it. 6th Avenue during the hump cut removal project, looking from Grant Street to Webster Avenue. Grant Street to Webster Avenue. What in the world? Okay. What in the world's going on here? Okay, we got a problem. What is this doing? Okay, I don't know. Something's wrong with their website. That one's working. Wait, what is this? This is Grant Street Hump Cut. Okay, what? Now that one's working. All right, hold on, folks. There's a... Oh, goodness. Okay, let's revert back here. Okay, start over. This is looking from Strawberry Way towards 7th Avenue Hump Cut. Okay. O'Neill Alley. Okay. All right. I don't know. His website was... Sometimes these websites get jammed up and cranky, and it can be aggravating. Nothing I ain't seen before. It's just annoying. Oh, somebody was asking on Jared's comment section, like they were looking at this wagon here, and they were calling it was a kind of a weird picture the way it was situated, but they were calling this a trolley. Look, they were saying that, look, there's an abandoned trolley. It's not an abandoned trolley. It's the construction workers job truck thing, pull wagon thing. It's where they kept their tools. That's all it is. It pulls behind with a horse. And right here you see this is after they've cut the hump, and you've got slabs from the original sidewalk right here, which I guess they planned on relaying the sidewalk, and you can see here they've made a little foundation for the sidewalk right here. And these guys are putting in what looks to be I'd say cobblestone brick road down there. They broke a lot of windows doing this because they did use explosives to break up rock and things, I guess. This is a steam machine that was used. They used it for these see, now I'm cold. I can't say I'm hot or cold. I don't know. They used these with jackhammers, and they had these machines, these steam machines, and they would produce the steam for the jackhammers, steam powered jackhammers. So that's pretty cool. Look at that. Looks like maybe a trolley was flying by right here or something. I don't know. It's something's moving right there. Got this walkway up here. Using these little kind of a weird brick right there. Something's kind of strange. All right. And I want to go to the description. 6th Avenue during a hump cut removal project, looking from Grant Street to Webster Avenue. Bum, bum, bum. Let you get a gander at that. Lots of bricks lying around. It's interesting. I don't see names in these bricks. So that might be a piece of evidence that could be flushed out. And you'll notice, like right here, you see what looks like dirt. But up under here, you see the foundations and the areaways right here. But they came through and they did the middle of the street first and got rid of the bulk of the dirt. And then they came back and finished the close up to the building. Street pole sitting down there. And look at that brick going down there. That's really interesting. What is going on there? Because the building is way up here. They have not lowered it yet. Yet you have a brick column going down here. I mean, this thing goes down, down, down. Where's the foundation at? So that's a red flag. Very strange. I am not sure what they got going there. What does that have to do? Like, what in the world are they doing here? Because this, I don't know what they're doing there. That's really weird. That one is very strange because this building would have had dirt up to here, would have come to the top of here, but then this building would have been, they're not raising this building, they're lowering the building. I don't, that's I don't know. Got me on that. Something off there. I don't know. That one will require a little more effort, I believe, to figure out the story there. Look, they've built a viaduct here, basically. It's interesting. This church is now gone. All of this is gone now. Everything you see here, it's all gone. Why would you go through this much work? Why not just knock it down? That's what I cannot understand. Why would you not knock it down if you're going through this much? It would have been so much easier to just knock everything down. Construction along Grant Street during the Hump Cut Removal Project looking from Webster Avenue to Strawberry Way. Okie dokie. And I would venture to guess this right here may or may not be there. That might be the courthouse. No, that's not the courthouse. I don't know what that is. That's probably gone. I'm not sure. That's one thing that it's going to have to, I don't know. I'm going to have to collect this information. I'm going to have to figure out a way to get this all together. I don't know. So here there's the round, they look like terracotta, like clay pipe. But I don't, I don't think they're sewer. Maybe they're water. I really don't know. I've never seen, like, how do they join them together? They don't look like they go insert into one to another. I don't know. It's very weird. There's just, I know a lot about this stuff, but I don't know everything. There's so much I don't know. I can't answer every question. That's why it's important to have a lot more eyes looking on this. Jared Boosters, there's people now looking at this, more people, and this thing is going to get bigger. But I'm telling you that Jared's about half of what's coming, y'all. It's This is getting ready to. This is gonna blow up. This. I can't wait. Lord have mercy. I'll tell you. I'll tell you this much. Hippie knows what I'm talking about, but Hippie, you're not allowed to tell. You can't say who. But tell them how good it's going to be when it finally comes out. When it's going to be when it hits the presses. Oh my goodness. Good gracious. Gonna be some mud up in here. Oh my goodness. Whoo, check that fella out. Undertakers. We got Boss Man. My goodness. You know, there must be some hella construction records somewhere. They would have had good records. They, you know, I think it'd be very interesting. I can't wait to get my blueprints of this. I'm actually going to have actual blueprints of this operation in my possession probably by the end of next week, possibly by the next show. No, Teresa. Jared is, let's say Jared is the middle of the iceberg. We're going to the top of the iceberg. Let's put it that way. We're going all the way to the top. We're going past John Levy, is all I'm going to say. We're going to blow past John Levy. John Levy, we're going to leave him in the dust. Hoorah! Okay, Strawberry Way during the Hump removal project, looking from Grant Street to Pentland Street. My goodness. We're going all the way to the top. Moving on up to the top. We're going to take the Pittsburgh Hump Cut research to the top of the skyscraper of Mudflood research. You just wait. See, it's doing it again, this stupid thing. Let's see if I refresh it, if it decides to not act a fool. It ain't going to do it, is it? It's going to act a fool. Don't you act a fool on me. I ain't got time for it. Better now. Get dang gone now. Yeah, it's going to act a fool on me. All right, we'll have to wait it out. Yeah, we're going all the way to the top, y'all. Yep. All the way to the top. We're going past John Levy. We're going past them all. We're going past Martin. We're going past Campbell. We're going past lunch break. We're going past them all. We're going to the top. Oh, I hope y'all are ready, because it's going to be on like Donkey Kong. This thing is just, it's this website. It's choking on me. We got too much mud flowing and it can't handle it. There it goes. Strawberry Way Hump Cut. It's the servers. Their servers, they get choked up. You know, you got a lot of people going on them for different reasons. There's a lot of research. There's so much good shit on this on this digital archive, y'all. Y'all got to go check this thing out. There's so much good stuff. This is not going to be the last of this digital archive we're going to look at. That's for sure. There's those weird formations right there that we're looking at last week. I don't know if you remember those. 4th Avenue, Pittsburgh. That's some nice brickwork right there. I like that. I was talking to some masons today. Arc light. I was telling them how I wanted some things done, and they were trying to understand me. They only speak part English, but fellow's name's Omar. He does good. He's a good mason. He knows his trade. He's very clever. If he spoke better English, I'd ask him what he thought about Meltology. I bet he'd just be like, you done gone crazy. Woo! There's Boss Man right there. There's Fred back there. Fred's always on the job. Do 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 do. You can't fall asleep when the dog starts snoring. Yeah, I've just look mine. Muddin loves to snore. He's a snoring little sucker. He can cut Z's, boy. He can saw logs. That dog can really light it up. Look at that arch right there. You got a little arch over the window, and then there's a bigger arch. Oh, I obtained this week some basement level photographs of an old world building I've been researching for years that I've not been able to get a hold of, and I got some this week. And I'm looking in these pictures. There's not many of them, but they were like very eye-opening. Like, wow, holy crap, that's down there. Like, I mean, shit, like windows in the basement with glass still in them, like on the outside wall. Like, I didn't even know that they were there on this building because there was no evidence of mud flood windows, but these are below ground level, no mud flood windows, and these are below ground level with the glass still intact. And I got that evidence this week. Y'all, we're gonna break this research wide open. I'm telling you, it's on. It's on like Donkey Kong because people are getting woke up. Diamond Street during the Hump removal project, looking from Ross Street to Grant. The courthouse is shown on the right. See, there's a great little notes here that help. And what they mean is courthouse on the right. That's this building right here. And the Frick building is right here. And both of these buildings are still there. However, everything on the left is gone. Get on. It's 85% gone. Okay. And what I mean by 85% is that at least 50% is the Allegheny Courthouse, the Frick building, and the jail. That's half of the 15%. So there ain't much left of what I'm showing you. I mean, it's incredible what's not left. See, here they're doing the sewer lines. Digging down. Awesome man right there. You know, it's fascinating to me. I know this is kind of silly, but the blueprints that I'm receiving are 11 inches high by 17 inches wide. They're very small. They're a pocket blueprint. It's very possible that one of the men in these pictures is carrying the architectural blueprints that I have, the blueprints of this operation in their pocket in these pictures. To me, that's so cool. It's so cool. And I know that, like, you know, it doesn't make sense maybe to other people, but, you know, to, you know, us crazy people, it makes a lot of sense. You got to be a little mad to do this. So, you know, we're all good. Rock on. I'm just excited. I don't know. It's just nice it's going to be nice to hold a piece of real history. Not that crap they give you in the school books. Oh, and here's the example of where they say they added these stones on the foundation because these stones were not finished. Even though one story says they weren't finished, the other story says that they were finished because he knew they were going to uncover it. Okay. And they cut these knobs off here. They chiseled them off. And they added stones. So today, when you look at it, it's flat-faced here. But on the bottom, you see how it comes out right here? They actually did a little ledge out down here. And a step out. I think they might have done it here and here, but no. Let me think. I think they did it all flat down through here, but then they did a step out here. And you can see that, you know, in today's imagery. And this is another weird thing about this building. It had these weird Mudflood windows right here that were like, I don't know, they're weird. I don't really understand those little windows. They don't make sense in any context I can figure. Look at that right there. That's kind of weird. This is the middle of the street right here. That's the middle of the street is what that is. I mean, this is an areaway. I guess this is an areaway. What's going on here? That's kind of weird. I don't know. Must be above my pay grade. That's okay. Grant Street hump cut. Let's see what Grant Street's got to offer us. Grant Street during the hump cut road project looking from 4th Avenue to 5th Avenue. The hump cut. Okay, the hump cut. What's a hump cut? I bet when I first said, oh, this thing's going to lock up on me again, you son of a bitch. I ain't got time for it. I bet when I said the hump cut, y'all, when I first said the hump cut, y'all were like, what in the hell is he talking about? Because I don't know what the hell he's talking about. But yeah, that threw y'all for a loop. Thought I'd done lost my damn mind. That's all right. All right, bear with me. We got to go through this whole process of waiting for their server to catch up and play monkey with us. Going to see what is going to come up today, 1913. Oh, that's another thing I should tell y'all about, right? Yeah. 1913, it gives the date the photograph was taken, and you'll see two dates that I think are important, 1912 and 1913. So that'll help in your research. And this is the collection that this is in, the Pittsburgh City Photographer Collection. So when you go to collections, you look under P and you look for this archive, and then you look for the hump cut. And then you narrow it down to between 19. I put 1900 and 1914. It seemed to give me the best result. But you can do whatever you want. Let's try it again. Come on, you stupid thing. Yeah, this thing is gonna be aggravating. There it goes. Okay. It's their servers get clogged up. Sorry, folks. Gotta love technology. We've seen this guy before in pictures. He looks like he's doing some sort of cement work. There's those round doodads. There's Boss of Man. I really think this hump cut thing is extremely important, y'all. And y'all might be like, okay, let's move on, but you're just gonna have to bear with me for a while, because I think we need to go all the way through this thing, and like we need to show this thing as well as possible, because we're documenting here something that is unknown. People do not know about this yet. You guys are the underground. Okay. When I'm so shadow banned that people don't know, you know, they're the largest channel of Mudflood Researcher has 379,000 subscribers. Okay. Jared Boosters is getting 1.8 million views on his video, on his top video. That means there's a lot of people that don't know about me and what I'm doing here. A lot of people. So y'all are the underground. Y'all are the ones that are learning about this first. So when it comes down to it, y'all can go, I was there when Biggs dropped this on his live stream, and we learned about it first. First. Not second hand. You didn't get sloppy seconds around here. You got it first. I broke y'all's cherry on the Pittsburgh hump cut. And that's the way it is. Grant Street during the hump cut removal project, looking from Strawberry Way to 6th Avenue. John Murphy Company is shown on the left. I think they might be the oh, I don't want that thing. Stupid. Damn. That you see how y'all see how this is? Can y'all see that is a square? See, it's a triangle here, but the other half of the triangle, the square, is here. And so every time if that's in the way and I try to click on that, it hits that damn website. I think the John Murphy Company, I don't know. There's the name of the construction company on the side of the steam shovel they're using. Oh no, 6R's breaking out his life preserver. He must have drowned. Somebody send the lifeguards. 6R drowned in the mud. It'll be all right, Sig. Throw down your wallet, throw up your wallet. Don't let us all suffer. Don't drown, Siggy. Lord have mercy. John Murphy Company. I can't remember the name of the construction company, but it is on the side of the steam shovel. I think that's the courthouse right there. So that's still there. Don't know if that's still there, but all these little buildings are definitely gone. 100%. There's those weird pipey doodad things. You about ready for a break, boo? That's interesting right there. Hey, Siggy, there's your trolley track under the dirt right there. Kind of interesting. Oh, okay. Maybe it's not under dirt. Okay, it's right here. Hold on, baby. Let's finish up with this picture. We're over here drowning in mud. 6R's in the mud. We're trying to drag him out. He needs resuscitation. He's drowned in the mud. He didn't wear his mud boots. We had to throw him a life buoy. So much mud. Listen to you. Listen all holly and hooty. 1882. So this would have been built in 1882, and then they demolished it after this at some point. Hush now. I'll be there in just a second, poor hole. Got a electrical pole flying over here. Got a ladder lean for Douglas. Shout out UAP. Okay. All right. So we're going to start there. All right. We're going to take us a break, and we're going to let the Beagle visit the Tinkle Tower, and we will be right back. And Sig, I hope you make it, buddy. I hope you make it.
Through the frosted plain, every cut, every stain, can unsee what I've seen, breaking down between Every cut, every stain. Can't unsee what I've seen. Breaking down in between. Watching through the frosted pane. Every cut, every stain. Can't unsay what I've seen. Breaking down in between. Am I part of all this pain? Silent witness to the stain. Can't unsee what I've seen. Breaking down in between. Through the glass, through the glass. Watch it all just come to Still feel you here. Still feel you here. I trace your shadow on the wall, empty frames where pictures fall. Every room remembers you. What am I supposed to do? Still here. Still here. Morning light through dirty glass. Another day I'll have to pass without your breath beside my own. In this house of flesh and bone. Keys still hanging by the door. Your perfume lives in every drawer. Time has stopped the walls decay.
Alrighty, okay, enough of that. Me and Biggs is just jamming out in here. Music, give me kisses. Okay, ready to do some mudding? Huh? You got your floaties? You have your floaties on. 6R done drowned. We lost him. It was he put up a good fight. He tried to get out the mud and he couldn't do it. There's too much mud. I'm telling you. I've warned him. I warned him. Ready for a biscuit? You had a good patrol. Did you catch any rabbits while you were out there? See the Muscovy ducks while you was out there? Huh?
Yeah. Double biscuit. Yeah, just like Miss Hippie said. Give him double biscuit. He deserves double biscuit.
Okie dokie. Ba-ba-dee-ba-da-ba-da-ba-dee-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Okay, so let's make sure Miss Hippie's behaving herself. I'm pretty sure Miss Teresa Greger's behaving herself. We'll have we'll probably have to have a wake for Sig Sar because he didn't make it. He drowned in the mud, but that's okay. Poor Siggy Sar. Poor Siggy Sar. Okie dokie. Let's see. Where's we be? Where's okay. Alrighty. So let's get back into whatever we were doing. Nobody knows what we're doing. I certainly don't know what we're doing. Okay, hold on. Remove. And I do it the way they want to do it. Okie dokie. I'm going to Chatham Street Hump Cut. You ever been here? Let's see. We got view of Chatham Street during the Hump Cut Removal Project. Looking from Webster Avenue to Grant Street. Okie dokie. Dadgum, that stupid button. I swear whoever coded this needs to be shot on sight. And I'm telling you, good grief, I ain't got time for it. Looks like 6 hours trying to send us messages from the beyond. He done drowned in all the mud. Y'all couldn't send him a life preserver. My goodness. Ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-da-bum-bum. What's going on, Siggy Sar? How's the Florida weather? Anyways, we got I would say, I'm not sure. This looks like after the hump cut. After they finish, yeah. You can see here the line of the old mud line right here. Which is really odd. So that's what I'm saying. In different places, they took down different amounts. And we've got monthly winners down here. That's an interesting tool. I have a tool very similar to that, but it has a hook on the end. I think it is a tool for picking up sewer lids. I don't know why I have it or how I got it, but see right here. That's a repointing right there. That's freshly pointed, I imagine. And right here, you can see where you got the dirt soot from the steel factories, and then looks like they've been cleaning the brick right here because it's discolored and then the different color. I lost some bricks right there. Says wind catcher windows, how they opened at the top. No, you just went out. You're not gonna start in on me. I'll send 6R after you. And he is wearing his life preserver now. Y'all all better be wearing your life preserver. There's too much mud here not to. You're just gonna drown. This isn't for the faint of heart mud flooders. This is for the pros. Okay, this is pro mud flood stuff here. Okay. This ain't for you boots on the ground ninnies. This is for the fellas that are actually getting in there and digging into the research. This is the hardcore stuff. This is the X-rated mud flood stuff. Okay. Because see, the problem is, you got these guys that seem to think that boots on the ground is great. Don't get me wrong. We need boots on the ground, but they also, a lot of these boots on the ground people think that their research is better than people that don't do boots on the ground. And that's horseshit. And so I'm calling you out because you would never find this research with your boots on the ground, because all of these buildings are demolished. They're not there for you to do boots on the ground. You didn't find the hump cut. I did, because I am an armchair mudflooder, as you like to call it. And I'm damn proud of it. I do what I do. You do what you do. We'll meet in the middle and we'll make this thing, come alive. Or you can just ninny people, and just be a jackass. I can't stand people like that. I had one come at me today just like that. Talking about his channel was so great because he did boots on the ground, and like, who cares? Like, dude, do what you do. I'll do what I do. And my God, you ain't got to be a dick. There's no reason for it. Take a big old cup of, go fuck yourself. Anyways. This is a very cool picture. I'm just kind of dumbfounded. If you just really take the time to look at it and don't take a cursory glance at it, there's a lot going on here. There, you could see the original mud level right there, right here. That's just so weird. It might have gone higher. Hush now. Good grief. You a whiny little bastard. I need to turn you into tacos is what I need to do. Who doesn't love beagle tacos? Start my whole business. BEAGS beagle tacos. Soft and hard shell. Delicious. Clay Alley during the Hump removal project, looking north from Chatham Street. Oh, you ain't gonna give me this time, you son of a bitch. Bum, 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 bum. Piss off. Not getting any more cookies. You done had 2. And I know as soon as your shit hippies gonna say, give him 2 more. He deserves 2 more. Knowing good and damn well that's sport. What in the world? You gone crazy, I think. Don't you realize there's something there that you try to jump through the air and you hit it every time like you don't know it's there? You know it's there. You big old dummy. You big old dummy dumb. I love you, but I'm going to eat you. I am. Turn you into doggone burritos. I love burritos. I'll have me a burrito. Big old burrito. Little cheese. Little salsa. Some sour cream. Be good. Good tender bagel meat. Who doesn't love good tender bagel meat? Why are you messing with my feet? I tell you what, we're trying to do some work here. Trying to get the mud uncovered up in here. That's interesting. So they got, what is it? They've removed one of the guy wires and they put another guy wire on it. Or what? I guess this is the old guy wire, I guess. So this all was under the dirt. Would you quit messing with my feet, please? Before I send you to China. Postage paid. Here, have 2 more cookies. So I give in. Miss Hippie, I know she said, I ain't even read the chat. I know she said it. She probably did say it. I know she's thinking it. Here you go. There. Ah! Crazy ass wild animal. Okay, sorry, folks. I'm trying to bribe him to leave me alone. This is interesting. Got bricks down here below, which is weird. Shouldn't have bricks as a foundation, so it makes me wonder if it goes deeper. Very interesting. And they've got the steel in here, so it looks like they're planning on lowering this one. There's Fred hanging out. Those actually, I don't know, might be a mule. Kind of looks like a mule. Not a donkey, but it does look like a mule. I wish we'd get some mules on the farm. I ain't been able to talk him into getting them mules. Mules are cool. Got horses. Got zebras. Got them mules. There's a screw jack right there. I'd love to see the order for the screw jacks they used in this operation. Arc light. And it amazes me how they brought these horses down these roads like this with all this debris and stuff, and they ran it just all over the stuff. You see the horse cart tractor. Very cool. And let's see. Ross Street Hump cut. Looking Diamond Street to 5th Avenue. The courthouse is shown on the left and the jail is on the right. Okay. Oh, come on. This thing is so aggravating. Maybe I'll just keep refreshing it. Maybe it'll decide to act like it's ain't got, retardation for a living. Oh, goodness gracious. Trying to do a live show here. Hello, Pittsburgh Library. Wake up. Oh, this is aggravating. This is why I don't like doing my show like this. I like to download the images so that I can present them in, like, just present the damn things instead of having to click on the damn thing over and over and over again. This is like the whole reason I do my show the way I do it. But there's no way to do the show I like to do it because this website will not let you download the damn images because they're, I don't know, crackheads with power. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Let's go to this one, see if it. This is Grant Street Hump cut. View of improvements made to Grant Street during the hump removal project, looking towards 6th Avenue. Storefronts of A.H. Johnson Meehan's. I knew a guy named Meehan once. Employment agency. Picard Cafe and Bar, and a meat market are visible. You're killing me. All right. You're killing me. I think you people are really trying to freaking annoy me. Oh, come on. Sorry, folks. This is the low life of a Mudflood researcher here. It's the library's server is jammed. They get slow. Too many people looking at it. jams up. Oh my God, you're killing me. You're absolutely killing me. I would not do this way if I didn't have to. I have to. There's no other way to do this. God damn. Fucking hell. I don't know. They're just not allowing it. It's not working. I don't know. None of this is working. Oh my God. Oh crap. I'm sorry, folks. I'm trying to figure out what to do. I don't know what to do. Yeah, I broke it. Their server is just locking up. All right. Damn. Hold on. Let me try to finagle something here. That is so fucking aggravating. Oh God. Let me try it a different way. What page am I on? Page 5. Let me do a different. Let me try on one of the other websites and see if it does any better. I don't know why they have multiple websites. I have not determined that because they all work the same. Hold on. Where is it? There. Okay. You have to bear with me, folks. I'm trying to find a solution. I'm good, but I ain't that damn good. I'm working on it. Where's the... here we go. I'm trying to filter out on a different website to see if I can find the same search criteria as I'm using now to find the same page. And see if it works. I don't know. So it should be 6th Avenue Hump Cut. No, that didn't work. Shit. It did. The search works differently. Gah! You're killing me. Now the pictures are working again. All right. Let me see. I got to read this again because now I don't know what the hell I am. View of improvements made to Grant Street during the Hump Cut removal project looking towards 6th Avenue. Storefronts A.H. Johnson, Meehan's Employment Agency, Car Cafe, and Meat Market are visible. Okay, so just so we know where we are. Okay. I would, man, if anybody can figure out how to download these images in high resolution, the full resolution, I'd be greatly appreciated. I have not figured out how to do it. Because this is really annoying me. Okay, so we got weirdness underneath here. The original ground level would have been up here. And you could see an areaway coming out right here. Stone made out of stone. It would look just like a foundation, but you got to look closely at how it comes out. It's kind of hard to see in this picture, but I'm telling you, that is an areaway. Now this here could be just the foundation with an opening here, which the door, might have been a window. I don't know. Hard to tell. See a lot of these pieces here too. They're kind of weird. A job box. There's that weird eagle. Why would you tear that down? Straight to jail. Right to jail. Straight to jail. Definitely. You tear that down, straight to jail. Pass by room 101. Obtain your beating. You tear this down, straight to room 101. Look at that. That's some kind of mold. Has to be. Look how uniform it is. That's a mold of some sort. That could be a cast iron facade, maybe. I don't know. Furnaces, sheet metal work. Oh, okay. Sheet metal. Maybe that's sheet metal. And maybe they're showing their wares or something. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Bum bum. Diamond Street, south side of Diamond Street, looking east from Script Alley. One thing I've found is you got to figure out when you're doing this research, you got to figure out which way is north, how the streets are laid out, because they're laid out in a they're laid out in a weird they're not north south. They're like off axis. It's weird. Normally cities are laid out, kind of east to west, north south kind of thing. Pittsburgh is not. It's a weird layout. So it kind of disorients you when they say you're on the south side looking north or whatever. It when they're giving you directions, you really got to kind of It's kind of a mind twist to figure it out. I'm just trying to give you the pointers I've found, and I'm sure you'll come up with your own. Anyways, it looks like they're putting in the sewer here. There's those weird pipes there. There's Ballspan. I bet he's got my blueprints in his pocket. I can't wait to get my blueprints. Oh, gonna be so awesome. Then I got to go thrift shopping for a picture frame. That's always part of the process. So that'd be fun. I like any excuse to go thrift shopping. I just love thrift shopping. I don't know. I always have for a long time. I've liked thrift shopping because you just never know what you're gonna find. I love my new speakers. They sound so good. I was telling somebody about my speakers today. They're good sounding speakers. I tell you, I got them for $15 and worth $250. That's on the used market. Good grief, you can buy them all day long on eBay for $250, and I got them for $15. Can't beat that. Loving it. Loving it. I found some of the coolest stuff at their stores. Look how nice that suit is that he's wearing. Just decked to the nines. Tourist fields. Look at that. And this is the original ground level, y'all. Where you see a sidewalk like this, that's the original ground level. And the reason you know that's the original ground level is because they're putting these in temporary so they can get into these stores that are there. So to not take the stores out of business or to allow the businesses to move out or whatever, they put these sidewalks in. That's how you know where the ground level was in a lot of cases. Another way is you look at the dirt. It's still there. Like in the background, you still see the dirt. This ain't AI slop, y'all. This is real deal mud flood. You're gonna need a damn life preserver stuff here. This is the good stuff. Bum 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 at their antenna with mercury ball. Lemon Alley hump cut. Let's see. Along north side of Lemon Alley, look at west from near Cherry Way. Which now, one thing you'll learn is cut in half, and half of it's Cherry Way, and half of it is William Penn Avenue or something like that. Everything you're seeing here is demolished, just gone. There's no more. It's zero. Go. It's a big old goose egg. It's here then. They're taking taking this down then. And I guess, they lowered the buildings, or some of them they might have, stuccoed over the foundations to make it look like it was nicer, but these are gone. They're no more. Look at that right there. Check out that weight right there. That's for that could be for a fire escape. Could be like the counterweight for a fire escape like this right here. I don't know if it's for that one or what, but I imagine that's what that is. Don't know for sure. Big arched windows. Got some beer here. Heck yeah. There's Fred back there in the background. All this was underground. You can see if you paying attention, you can see where the mud was. You know, you can kind of see it if you really pay attention. Like right here, you see, like, looks like it's dirty right there. That's probably the level right there that it used to be. I don't know what this contraption is here. Some medieval device of torture. I don't know. Ain't no telling. Let's see. Let me do it this way. Yes. Okay. This is going to work out a little bit. Northwest corner of 6th Avenue and Wiley Avenue, looking southwest. A large advertisement for Turkish trophies is visible. I believe Turkish trophies was a cigarette, but I'm not sure. You will submit to my authority. Okay. This is an interesting one. This would be an areaway right here. But they've removed the front of the areaway. And right here. And this looks like, if I had to guess, they had a problem. Something doesn't look like it went right here. The plan did not go through. But you can see the original level, and then, you know, it goes down, you know. Like this building, what is this? It's a, okay, it's a brick. It's kind of weird. It's got an inset here, making me wonder. Okay, this is, I'll give my professional opinion on this one. This is what it looks like to me. And people might disagree with this, but this is what I'm seeing. Okay, in my professional opinion, I think what you're looking at right here, this is not a brick building here. This is a brick building. And it's inset by about, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet. Okay, let's call it 4 feet. What it looks like was that there was a building here and a building here. And then they built a building between the two buildings and then built a wood structure on the outside. Hence why you have a load-bearing beam here and no foundation. However, if you dug back 4 feet, I bet there is a foundation under this. So if you went right here and dug 4 feet, I bet you there's a foundation there. Even though they've demolished this all at this point, you can't actually go do that. In my professional opinion, this right here is sitting on this foundation right here. I can see it sitting on the foundation right here. But it's sitting on the outside foundation wall of this building. So that's my opinion on that for what it's worth. You can see the there was a floor here. You can see the joist inserts right there. You can see there was a building here too. You can see the mortar, how they have not pointed it. So they, you know, it's like got the mortar snot looking stuff here. Boy, that'll piss the meltologist off when I say that. Well, this is not mortar snot. That's not what we call mortar snot. kick a meltologist in the ball, see how that works out. What pathetic individuals. And yeah, there was a building here. Looks like there's some problem right here. Nice brickwork there. That's pretty cool. I saw this video yesterday on Instagram that was kind of cool, and it was a something about I don't think I saved it, but anyways, it was something about how they were showing the backdrops for Gilligan's Island, and they were these huge canvas backdrops that were hand painted, and they were actually pretty cool. And they were huge. I mean, like, I can't even describe how big these things were. I mean, just the height of them alone was probably 30 feet, maybe more, maybe 40 feet. But the length was what got me. The length was, I don't even know, because the way they were doing it was they were pulling it out, and then they would get it, like, it would come all the way. They would pull it out maybe, I don't know, 50 feet at a time, but you could only see like 50 feet or 40 feet at a time, but they kept pulling it, and it just kept coming. I don't know. It was pretty crazy. That was just really interesting. I mean, I grew up on watching Gilligan's Island, you know, that was a cool show. TV was good back in the day. I had to laugh at this. I'll tell the story. My friend will kill me, but that's all right. Let her riot. So I was talking to my friend today. We were having lunch, and her daughter calls, and her young daughter, I don't know how old her young daughter is. She's got an older daughter at 16, and then her younger daughter would be 2 or 3 years younger than her, something like that. Might be younger than that. Anyways, she's younger. And she has a school play coming up. And so she told her mama, I need a lion costume for my school play. And she showed a image of a lion costume. And her mama then she went to bed, and her mama went online and found a lion costume on eBay. And she orders the lion costume and gets it in and presents it to her daughter, saying, here's your lion costume for your play. Well, it wasn't the right lion costume. She got her a lion costume that was not the costume she wanted, or not the proper costume, or it didn't look like the way it needed to look. Anyways, the little girl starts bawling. My friends they're gonna laugh at me, and they're gonna think I'm a furry. And she told her mama she thought the kids were gonna think she was a furry. I was like, oh my God. I said, do you know what I asked my friend, I said, do you know what a furry is? She said, no, what is a furry? I said, okay, well, you don't want to know. Well, that just made me crack up. And we're joking about how these kids are so entitled these days. It just cracked me up. Lemon Alley Hump cut. I'm telling on my friend here. She's gonna kill me. A view of construction during the Hump Cut Remote project along the south side of Lemon Alley, looking west from near Cherry Way. A close look reveals a young boy sitting on a loading dock. Oh, okay. So it's like that. Anyways, That's a weird picture how he's sitting. I'll give him that. And you can, I mean, you can almost just see the dirt stains, you know. Like, look right here, you can see the dirt line. And look at that, how it's got a, okay, let me back up. Let me look at this. Okay, this is like a wooden shack on top of a brick foundation, it looks like, but you wouldn't use brick as a foundation. That is odd. Okay, they've already redone the sidewalk here. And they didn't give them much of a sidewalk, but that's so weird. Like, I'm wondering if that's even the bottom of that. That's a weird one right there. All this is gone now, so you can't go look. And look at the rotted wood because it was underground. Boy, that little boy looked like he whooped your ass. He's got some scrap in him. There you go. I hear you, boy. $10 fine. No trespassing. Private property. All right. Oh, he must not want nobody up in there. Look at this door here. Look at how they've modified. I don't even know what they got going on there. That's so weird. It's a very strange place. Here you can see the stucco work. You see they've re-stuccoed this and drawn lines in it to make it look like stone. That's just a crappy facade. It's a stuccoed facade. That's all it is. There's that weird medieval torture device. We're gonna put SIG on that. See how he fares. SIG's gonna throw me in the pond. Got Mudflow Winters down here. It looks like something like that. I don't know. Something going on down there. I bet Fred's attached to that cart. What do you think? Or maybe it's a donkey. I don't know. It could be a donkey. You never know. People do say, look at this door up in the middle of nowhere, like just hanging out in the middle of the air. Let's see, is it hanging in the middle of there? If the dirt was up to here, right? Yeah, maybe there was some stairs right here. Like what? Like, oh my gosh. It's just so weird. I don't know. Almost need to do like go through each image and draw kind of where I think the level of the mud was, so you can kind of visually see it. I don't know if that I don't know. I would like, and tell me if this is ridiculous or not, but I'm kind of thinking it'd be a lot of work. I don't know how I'd do it actually, but would it be kind of cool to have a the video I made, the slideshow video. Well, what if there was this, let's say the same slideshow? Okay, let's not put too much effort into it. But let's say the same slideshow, but then it had a pop-up or in the corner, like something where it had like the information right here, where it said a view of the construction during the Hump Cut removal project along the northwest corner of Lemon Alley and Cherry Way looking east. And in the, that'd be in the, don't you start your shit with me now. I ain't got that. I'll send somebody up to you. Pittsburgh. We're on to you now. You might as well just give up and submit. We're on to you now. We have figured it out. It's over. All right. Let that cook for a minute. But I mean, what if What if like that information was down here in the corner? Would that be cool? I don't know if it would be. I don't know how hard that would be to do. I have to think about that one. That would be a lot of work. I have to do that 458 times. I imagine we'll be able to get GT to do it. GT, you want to do that for us? GT's like, yeah. So yeah, I don't know you people. I disown you. Oh, goody. Our picture decided to come up. And all this is demolished now. You can see they've already done the hump cut. And they've got the little sidewalk they've made here, which is kind of weird. Like, first off, are you really going to walk on that? No. So this is just some sort of transition between the building and the, soon to be cobblestone road. And that's an arch. I think that's an arch. Look at the curvature right there. So there's an arch right there. It's been stuccoed over. They've literally just thrown concrete against it. Look, there's something right there. Something right there. Something right there, it looks like. There's the original stone foundation. You can see the difference there. We got your ass. We got your ass now, Pittsburgh. As the bully slayer would say. That guy cracks me up with that crap, man. He's so full of shit, but it's like, he's got so many followers of his bullshit, but I don't know. He's a weird dude. He'll go, we got your ass. We got your ass now. Talking about when he's looking at old world buildings. Oh, he's just a grifter, but I don't know. He's part of the fabric of what makes us whatever us is. There's Fred. I'm just looking for somebody holding my blueprints in their palm. I'm gonna blow my top if doggone I find that picture. All right. And okay, we're done with that one. Bum 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 bum. This is Script Alley, looking north from corner of Lemon Alley and to the Frick Building during Hump Cut Removal Project. And as you might remember, the Frick Building is still there. So this is the Frick Building here, and I can tell by this little doodad. I've seen it many times now. Oh, there's your flat earth asterisk in case you need to know what, kind of realm you're in. And they're putting in new sewer as they go. Gotta have the infrastructure. Now, they replaced all this with big high rises, They didn't want any of this stuff. They weren't trying to preserve this stuff. This stuff is I don't even know why they did what they took the care that they took in doing this. Why didn't they just knock this stuff down? That's what they did. That's what they did. They didn't do it at this time, but that's what they did. But why they didn't do it all at one time, I don't know. There's a reason for that, and I don't know what it is. Street level today is down here. This is all gone here, except for this building in the background. The Frick building. Yeah, there's those counterweights again. I want to look. Hold on, I want to look at that one more time. Look at the pointing on that right there. A lot of detail there. Kind of cool. Okay, this is a view of construction during the Hump Road project, Webster Avenue and the southeast corner of 6th Avenue. All right, so let's see what is still there. I like to know what is still there in the image. I believe this is still there. I think that's the courthouse, the Allegheny courthouse. I can't remember if this building's still there, but I'm not sure about this building. It may still be there, but I'm not sure. They knocked down some big son bitches, so they didn't just knock down the little ones, y'all. They knocked down some buildings. They weren't toying around with this. They whatever was here, they had to get rid of it. The evidence was too big. See these holes right here. These holes, okay, this is a great example of this. Okay, this building here, I believe we have other images of it after the foundation has been removed. This is before the foundation has been removed, and they're in the process of installing the I-beams, which are here, and they're putting they cut these holes, they knock out you'll how do I explain this? Okay, the brick top portion of the building is this line here. Okay, everything below that is the foundation stone, but you see that they have taken out a course of brick here and then stone here, and what they're doing is they're going to put the I-beam in down here, and they're going to put the the I-beam is going to be up here pushing against these bricks, and then the screw jack will go underneath that I-beam. What they'll do is they'll raise this building up, then they'll remove this foundation down to the new ground level, okay, which is down here. And I think that this is just my opinion, I think these foundations in a lot of cases went down to that new ground level, or they went lower. But there's no way to prove that because, well, they destroyed the buildings. You guys, right here, the boater hats. And I bet that's Mark. I bet you that's my blueprints right there. You smiling ass son bitch, you got my blueprints, don't you? Well, I got them now. Ha, ha, ha. They're coming this week. I can't wait. I'm going to show y'all my blueprints. Y'all going to be like, yep, those blueprints. I just want y'all to appreciate them like I do. But you probably won't. You probably be like, you just got some damn piece of paper. And what's the big deal? Crazy mother, some bitch. Lord have mercy. It's all right. Portholes, big arches, ether antenna with mercury ball. There was a building on this side. You can tell Got the mortar snot. Look at the line of dirt right there. It looks like possibly. I don't know. Could be here because you got the ground level. You got the old ground level here. That could be the dirt line right there. Not sure then what this is because it looks like the same thing, but you can clearly see the dirt's here. And then over here, you can see they've done a walkway, and you can see you could probably draw a line from here to there, you know, and see kind of how high it was. And now, and this is something that you need to understand is you'll see this building here. It looks like it's a building that's, you know, on first glance, it would look like, oh, that building was in the mud. They uncovered it. No, they lowered it. Okay. They lowered this building. It was originally up here. They lowered it. Okay. So don't make that mistake. Don't fall in that trap. We got to be smarter than the average bear here. This ain't Tartaria, y'all. All right. Moving on up to 6th Avenue, Hump cut. Let's see. Oh, yeah, you better do what I tell you. The 6th Avenue look north from the corner of Wiley Avenue. The front of the People's Loan Office and a large advertisement for Chamberlain Company Sanatorium are visible. All right. Y'all get a gander of that. A gander for you city folks is look. In case you're unaware and uninformed. That's the job box. We still use these today, but they're made out of metal. Very similar. Look at all the bricks up underneath that sidewalk there. That's an old pipe. Look how deep that pipe is. See, they're planning on lowering this building. So they put up, you know, the screw jacks and the steel I-beams here. And then you put the blocking and, you know, all that underneath the building. And there's the screw jacks right there. They have different sizes of screw jacks too. And these are weird things. These are like bracing because I guess they were having problems with the facades falling off. And so they realized they needed to brace them. I bet what was happening, I'm just figuring this out now. I bet what was happening is these big storefront window areas, they didn't have enough structural integrity when they took out this front, and they had to stabilize that area, stabilize it right here. Because see, you have brick pretty much going all the way up here, but here you don't have that. So what was probably happening is when they were digging this out, that's why you see all these buildings that are demolished in between buildings, because these fronts failed. That'd be my guess. I was taking a little Google tour around Pittsburgh this week, and oh my goodness, there's some goodies. We're gonna have to do a whole show on just Google dropping Pittsburgh, like we did LA back in the day, if y'all remember. Y'all old school, you know, folks that have been around for a while. You might remember going and Google dropping all of downtown LA in one show. But we need to do that on Pittsburgh, I believe. There's some really good shit lying around in Pittsburgh still. that is not in this area. Pittsburgh is a wealth of old world. Where's that lice, the sanatorium thing? Where's that at? Did I see that? Huh. I don't see the sign. Oh, here it is. Sanitariums. Disinfectors for contagious diseases. All right. So it's like that. Grant Street Hump Cut. Going to Grant Street. Going to the Hump Cut. And we got a removal project on the east side of Grant Street, looking north from the corner of 6th Avenue. Grant Street Hump Cut. And all of this is gone today, so it's all demolished. And this is a weird thing. I saw this before. This, I guess it's a safety contraption. I don't know what, I don't know. I don't know what the hell that is, to be honest with you. Now that I'm looking at it again, I don't know what that is. That thing on that horse, I don't know. Looks like an Indian thing, but why would Indians be involved in? I don't know. It's very weird. Look at that. Got a chain hanging off. Very weird. Lager beer. It could be prism glass, but I'm not positive. Circumpunct, original symbol for the creator. Possible fleur-de-lis. Warm air furnaces, sheet metal. Oh, we were looking at this building earlier. See, this is what I'm talking about. How they last time, if you remember, the image came from this side, and they were looking this way, and then this is looking back the other way. So they take different images. So you'll be looking at this is the same building. They're focused around the same building, but they're two completely different angles. So you get two completely different, sets of data. So the images are different, is my point. That you're going to see images, you're going to think they're the same. They're not. You got to look closer. Look at this right here. Interesting. That big arch. Look at that walkway they built to get up there. Good grief. Let's see here. Grant Street Hump Cut. Oh, I need to. What I'm doing is I'm checking to see if the picture's open. Then I'm going back and reading the wording here. Remove a project from the southeast corner of Grant Street, or Grant and Diamond Street, looking southwest along Grant Street. Visible in the background are Maloney's Restaurant and Wagoner Detective Agency. Wagoner? Okay. So we got a detective agency. All right. And this is the new ground level down here. You can see there's 6 fancy trolley tracks right there. He likes these trolley tracks. He said they're so big. Danger. Look at his pipe sticking out. That's interesting right there. That's something like a hole right there. There's Boss Man right there. And that dude's straight up, just like I'm the boss. Look at this pipe right here. That's interesting. That's a temporary pipe. It looks like. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. That's an areaway, stone wall areaway. Wow, looking back this way, it looked like dirt, but man, you get in, that's a stone wall. That's an areaway. See, it's got the concrete on top of it. Wow, that had me fooled. Dang. There's some Mudflood winters there, right there. I'm wondering how they're moving these slabs of concrete around, because I'm sorry. Oh, that makes my back hurt just looking at that. See that old glass, that oily look? That's how you know it's old. See right there? Look at those windows. Steaks, chops, oysters, and fish. Oh, Gussie Morgan's up now. My goodness, we finally got him up. Good morning, Morgan. Woo! Bum, 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 bum. Do. Okay, well, we're going to next. Chatham Street Hump Cut. And gonna see if it's gonna open, and it is. The east side of Chatham Street, looking north from Wiley Avenue. In view are signs for the doctor's office of Gaetano Conti and U. Opie, or something like that. What the hell? Opie Taylor? What the hell? Some weird dude. Far in the background is 801 Webster Avenue. All right. Good enough for me. Is it good enough for you? And everything here is demoliost. And we got a bunch of youngins in the foreground for whatever reason. And this dude looks pretty wild. There's those weird pipes. Not sure what those are. Got a Mudflood winter there, in case you need that. Who don't need a Mudflood winter? That's weird how you got an entrance here and then you got to step up. There's no entrance up here. That's odd. There's Fred. Ooh, yeah. Ain't got no donkeys, though. Ain't no donkeys. Looks like they're going to lower these buildings here. I think some of them they left it at the same height. They just uncovered the foundations and then stuck over the foundations. Some of them they lowered. A lot going on here. I like figuring this out, man. The resolution on this blueprint I got coming is really, really good. It's pretty impressive. It at one time it shows on the blueprint, it states that they used a color code system that this is to be done in 1912 and this is to be done in 1913, and I don't see the color on there. Maybe the color has faded off, I don't know, but this damn website's messing up again. I do not like this website. It's some biatch. Me no like you. You do not give me what I want. You will give me what I want, or I will hit you with my sombrero. Oh my goodness. Aggravating sack of Siberian snake shit. Whoever designs these websites should be shot. I think that IT people they screw these websites up on purpose so they have a job. There we go. Finally you decide to work with us. We've been here for hours and hours waiting. Hump removal project along north side of Wiley Avenue, looking east from near 5th Avenue. So it's like that. And everything you see here is gone with the wind, because they demolished it, but not at this time. Oh no, they saved these buildings at this time for whatever reason. Got Fred right here doing what he's supposed to be doing. Mudflood winter there in case you want one of those. So here's one of those buildings that collapsed right here in between these two. Look at their cresting up on top of that building. Must have broke these windows when this building fell. Very cool stuff to me. Crest House Moving. So there's a lead on a company to research. Matter of fact, let me write it down, put it on the list, get it written down. You know I'm going to want to know that later. House Moving Company out of Pittsburgh. Okay. All right. We'll take a look at that, see if we can find it. Orphan Picnic. I guess you can go to the Orphan Picnic and get you an orphan. Look at that right there. That looks like either an arch or a round porthole. Here's another one right here. I don't know. It's kind of weird. And they must be lower in this building, I'd say. They've had to brace that. It's starting to have a problem. You see the joist inserts where the other building was. There's the top of that fire escape there. You see where that was your original ground level there. Leakus Bakery. Incredible. I hope y'all are just as dumbfounded as I am. Probably not. I'm probably just like amazed by the little things in life, but whatever it is, I'm amazed by it. 1913. Scrip Alley looking south from Lemon Alley towards 4th Avenue. And I don't know. I don't know if this building is here or not. I don't remember seeing this one yet in my research. Oh man, one thing I've learned is that I think it's called Kaufman's with a K, is a department store down there. I want to say at the corner of 6th and Smithfield, something like that. Anyways, this department store is famous department store, and people look at that store and it's got this really amazing architecture, but that ain't the original building. And the original building is shown in these hump cut pictures. The original building was a little nicer. So that's something interesting that I've learned. And to Pittsburghans, this will be a big deal. When the Pittsburghans find out Kaufman's is not Kaufman's, they're gonna be like, what? I mean, they had a whole different clock. Let's put it that way. And Pittsburghans will know. They'll know what that means. When they say meet at the Kaufman's clock, well, that meant something different back in 1912. It's different building. It's different clock. Anyways. Look at this foundation here. It's just almost looks like it's falling in. So it must be a foundation that goes down below that building. I don't know. Maybe they've lowered our diamond symbology upside down fleur-de-lis, maybe. Kind of odd. Arc light. You see the old glass. See that oily look? That's old glass. Old world glass. It'd be interesting to find out what this building is, and I will find out. Oh, I will find out. I'm finding out all kinds of neat things. I got so many toys now that I can research with. Maps and old pictures and fire maps and just all kinds of stuff. Photographic evidence. Look at these mudflood winters down here that's been uncovered. This is after the hump cut. And when I say after the hump cut, that means it's after the dirt has been removed. So this is the new street level. Very cool. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Script Alley looking north from Lemon Alley towards Diamond Street. Aight. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. So all this was in dirt. Wonder why they're digging down so low there, and maybe to work with the sewer. I don't know. This is something weird. It's like, how are they moving stuff like this? They're not lifting that. Men don't lift stuff like that. They had some sort of crane, but I don't really see cranes anywhere. I don't know. Maybe I just hadn't seen the imagery yet. I don't know. Yeah, I'm about to say that's the Frick building. As soon as I saw that, it's got Frick building right there. So this building is still here, but the building on either side is gone. They're demolished. Got your flat earth asterisk right there in case you need that. In case you need to know where you are. Do you know where your children are? That's the ad they ran in the 80s. I guess parents, they didn't know where their damn children were anytime. We were feral, I'm telling you. East side of Webster Avenue, looking towards the corner of Webster Avenue and Chatham Street, Restaurante Italiano and Dr. F. Sinceri's, something like that. Officers are visible. Aight. And this is 100% demolished. No longer with us. This is the last time you'll ever see it. I'm so sorry. And in this case, I would venture to say that this building has already been lowered. I don't believe they undug this. I believe that there was a foundation, and obviously there's still a foundation, but they removed the foundation that went up here, or the stone portion of the building, because obviously you can see that the dirt is, came to up here. Might even come. It could have come up here. I don't. It would have been. It's hard to really tell at this angle, but let's just say the dirt was at least this high, at least. So there's no way that this was not underground. There's no way that this was lowered already. You can see they've already redone the sidewalk. And then you got a structure like this. So it's very strange. It's like, why did they not do these at this time? Maybe it has to do with who's paying. I don't know. So many questions. I'd like to talk to these two right here, because I know that they are, witnesses, and I'm going to need their names and information. We're going to have to get them tagged and bagged on knowing. Oh, no. These ones know what's going on. These ones know. These ones right here, they're the ones that know. These little girls are innocent. They're innocent. I'm sorry, young ladies. I didn't realize there was hoodlums about. Yeah. You got to talk to these fellas right here. They know. They know what happened. See here, this would be a foundation that they stuccoed over. So this was covered in mud right here. Okay. This is the stuff you have to look out for. That's a finial up there. umbrellas. Does that say umbrellas? Yeah. Umbrellas repaired. Now, that's not something in my entire life I've ever heard anybody say those words. I got my umbrella repaired. That's a new one. That is something I've definitely never, ever even thought about doing. You break your umbrella, what do you do with it? You buy a new one. But man, they back in the day, everything was a whole different, you know, everything was made to last and they could fix things, and it was just a whole different world. We're uncovering this world though. It's not. Oh, I wanted to read my thingy. South side of Diamond Street. Diamond Street is now Forbes Avenue. Just so you know, that's something I learned. Diamond Street is now Forbes Avenue. I believe it's called that. Looking west from Grant Street, 1913. And I believe definitely these buildings are gone. Every one of the dark buildings is gone. I don't know about this building, but it is probably gone too. I am working on that research. It is very slow. And I will know by the end of the research what's there and what's not there. I am working on it. I will make Pittsburgh my bitch. Look at these windows right here down below. This is old grade right here. This is the old ground level. You can see right here, old ground level. And then look down here at the windows down here. What's going on there? Look at that wrought iron work. Fred's always on the job. Look at that right there. Like, what was that thing? Look at all those ether antennas. Arched windows. City Hotel. Danger. Wonder what this post going across here is. It's odd. Don't know. Okay. And construction during the Hump Cut Removal Project south side of Diamond Street on the corner of Grant Street with view of Wagner Drive Wagner Detective Agency. Yep. I'm gonna go see Wagner. Go get me some detective agency. I'm gonna do some investigation and find out, you know, which one of these Mudflood researchers is yipping on about a brick turning into a stone. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. Don't you worry about that. I'm going to find out who's who up in here. There's those weird danger. There's those weird pipes. I'm just wondering what they use those for. Like, what are they transferring? I don't think it's sewer. That'd be a bad idea for a sewer. It could be water pipes, but I mean, how do you seal that? I don't know. Not sure. Okay, this is the original ground level was up here. And they've re-stuccoed these sidewalls here. Dangerous. Keep back. There's one of those hydraulic jackhammers right there. Steam-powered jackhammers. Like I said, I don't know if this building here, but all this is gone. Everything on the left here. All the dark colored buildings are gone. G-O-N-E. Gone bye-bye. They's in a different place now. And we got Diamond Street looking east from Scrip Alley. 1913. Let's get a gander at it before we go in there and get our boots wet. Let's see, where's the old... Oh boy. So all this is demolished now. But what? Wow, where's the old? I'm guessing the old the old ground level's up here somewhere. Golly. I don't even know. Other antenna with mercury ball. The facade fell off this building. It seemed to happen a lot. I mean, I think they did this very quickly and with really very little help, because you really don't see many workers working. And a lot of times in these pictures, you see the same ones. Look at this new door they're making here. This all looks newly finagled. Let's call it finagled. They've manipulated that somehow. Diamond Street looking west from Cherry Way, 1913. This is that same area we were just looking at. All this on the left is gone. I don't know about this building right here. I will find out. I just don't know right this second offhand. I've looked at so many damn buildings at this point. Hello, Orion 1634. Thanks for showing up tonight for us. Thank you all for showing up tonight for it. Y'all are the underground. Y'all are the first ones getting to see this. Even people that might have run across these in the archives did not know. They didn't really appreciate what they were looking at. they might have a cursory glance at, oh look, old Pittsburgh, but not old world. They're looking at, they're not looking from it a Mudflood perspective. So you guys are the first to really see this with the proper eyes. Oh, okay. So those poles are hanging, they're hanging arc lights off of them. And I hadn't seen it tonight, but there was a building I kept asking about, that Beehive building. That was an old train station and hotel. Or it's now a hotel, but it was an old train station back in the day, and it's still there today. Matter of fact, I might show you that tonight, just to give you an idea. If you remember last week, we were looking at that, and I kept wondering what that thing was, and because it was so far in the background, I wasn't seeing it very clear. But I went looking for it and I found it, and it is still there. Which is really cool. At least I saved something. Okay, south side of Diamond Street looking west from Script Alley, 1913. There's a delivery truck from Kaufman's, the big store. I guess they had different versions of the store. It got bigger and bigger as the time went on. You see that old glass with the oily look. That wording has always been weird to me. To be let. To be let. Very strange. Look at that old glass right there. There's something different about that glass. I need to write that down. Herring Brothers house moving. There's another one. And they're from Pittsburgh. Okay. Check it. We'll see if we can dig something of that out. Looks like they're going to lower this building here. In the middle, they got the cribbing there. No Mudflow winners there. You can see the old dirt level here. So it probably went up something like this. Got some old cast iron railing there. Okay, Webster Avenue looking 6th Avenue to Oliver Avenue, 1913. And I'm not sure what is here, what is not here. I can't really say. Hard to say. I will find out though. I am going through every picture and I am documenting what is here, what is not here. But it's slow because I'm trying to do a real good job of it. I'm very I like to do things thorough. And there's Boss Man. So they worked through winter. Look at you little puppy doggy. No, little puppy doggy. But there's Kaufman's, or a sign for Kaufman's. I don't think that's the actual Kaufman store, though. It's hard. I don't think it is. And the reason I say that is the original Kaufman store had a big lady, I think it was a Lady Liberty on the roof. But I'm not sure. I'd have to see it to tell you. I haven't seen it yet. Webster Avenue, looking from 6th Avenue to 7th Avenue. Okay, I know where that is. And I would say that most of this, if not all of this, is gone. And you see that this is finished down through here, but you can see the original street level still here. I told y'all we're going to need a doggone floaties for this show. Got to have mud floaties. These are cool. All these old signs. Looks like a building fell through here. Got one demolished. There's Fred. Always on the job. You can count on Fred. You really can. I mean, Fred built all this. Horse built America. What can I say? Do 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 do. Lemon Alley during the Hump Cut Remove project, looking from Cherryway towards Smithfield Street. The S.E. Bowers building contractor storefront is visible. Really now? 1913. Oh my. What have we here? Okay. This dude looks like he's like, I'm tired of this shit. They need to go on, finish it up with this here. I can't even taking all this doggone hump cut. About tired of it. Tired of it, but just about over it. I bet they had something to do with this. Be interesting enough if that building's still there. I don't know. Arclight. A strange little alley. There's a whole lot of weird stuff going on in this little alley. Beer good. Napster bad. All right. That's about all I can take it at, you guys. I've got to get some rest and go do, my day job. So we're going to let that rest till next week. And I think that that is good enough for this time. And I'm looking to do a Mudflood flash mob sometime this week. So if you'd like to come on and have a chat, just I'll post the rules. The rules will be posted in the comment section on my YouTube channel, and they will be posted in the video when it's live. And the link to join the show and come on and chat will be in the show chat, and it will be in the description before the show. So once you see that, you can join the stream before the show. If you want to jump on, I'd appreciate if you guys would jump on quicker. Last time we did this, it took a little while to get started, and then we went for a long time. So let's try not to do that. That was a little bit much on old BEAGS, and it'd be a lot easier on me if you jump on quicker. And I don't want to go for 6 hours. That's not the intention. That I enjoyed myself, but I paid for it the next day. So let's not do that. I want to talk to you guys, but we need to get to it. So get them gums a flapping a little quicker, and we'll get into it and get in there and get it done. Have a good time, and that'll be the way we do it. Does that sound good? Oh, somebody wanted to say good night. I guess he woke up from his nap. Yes. Did you enjoy your treats? Yes. Did you get flooded out? Did you get drowned by the mud? You did. Oh, big yawn. He's tired. He's ready to hit the sack. Well, it's getting about time for us to go hit the rack and get some beauty rest. But we will see you very shortly, and we will continue this investigation into the Pittsburgh Hump cut of 1912 to 13 and all the muddy stuff that's going on with it. And again, thank you to Jared Boosters for shouting out this research. I really appreciate it. And again, there is a much bigger Mudflood researcher that is on to what I'm doing here, so that will be coming at some point. Give them time. Very busy, but it will be worth the wait. I hope you all have a great week, and I will see you soon.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
No.
In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
No.
It's a mystery. It's a mystery wrapped in a riddle inside an enigma. Don't you get it?
Say woof again! Say woof again!
I've got one that can see.
Welcome to the underground.
This is my kung fu, and it is strong.
See you later.